Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Mindfulness Mix Club podcast. My name is Miss Rodriguez,
My name is Imani.
I'm Mr. Sanchez.
My name is Amir.
My name is Mubar.
My name is Diara.
My name is Melanie.
My name is Deasia.
and for this podcast, we are going to be celebrating Women's History Month. Before we get started, Mr. Sanchez is going to lead us in our breathing exercise for today.
So when you guys can no longer hear the sound drum after I hit it, I want you guys to put one hand on your heart and another on your belly. The breathing activity that we'll be doing today is called checking in with my feelings. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And what I want you guys to do is to just take a quiet moment for yourself to investigate how you are feeling. You can choose to put your hands on your heart and belly and have your eyes closed or open for this activity. Focus on taking a few slow and steady breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. In through your nose and out through your nose. And I want you guys to ask yourself, while you're here in this position, what emotions are you feeling right now? As you sit here, you may notice that you are feeling more than one emotion, and that's perfectly normal. Sometimes you may feel two things at once, like lonely and angry, or embarrassed and frustrated. You can even feel two very different things, like sad and happy, or nervous and excited, all at the same time. Try not to worry about what's causing your feelings. It's enough right now just to notice them. Let's take one last deep breath in through our nose and out through our nose. And once you notice how you are feeling, you may be able to notice that your body responds to your feelings. If we're angry, we may tighten our fists. If we're nervous, our stomachs might be a little grumbly. If we're excited, maybe our legs and our hands can't stay still. Do you notice how your body is responding to your feelings today? When you take a second to notice if your body is responding or not, when you're ready, you may join us back in the circle.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Who would like to start sharing how this breathing exercise made them feel? Diara.
Um, Honestly, tired, but at the same time, I still feel the same.
It made me feel relaxed.
Relax,
It made me feel calm.
calm.
Tired.
So I did want to say this. So a lot of us say we're feeling tired. And I know sometimes there can be a little confusion, right? Because sometimes emotions feel the same. So the feeling of being relaxed sometimes often gets confused with being tired. So for those of you who said you were tired, is it that you were tired, you felt tired, or is it that you were just so relaxed?
I'm not relaxed. My body hurt. I'm tired.
You're tired. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
You're tired too?
Tired.
Okay. And
Well-
that's fine when we taking time to reflect and we're able to feel, right? You guys had a long day. You guys had a trip today. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm really tired. I had a long day.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay, right? We reflect on our day when we notice how it makes us feel.
Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Sanchez, because I was going to say I'm just tired. But taking that first breath allowed my body to kind of just like relax.
Hmm.
I felt the breath through my body. So thank you. Um, so, like I said, today we are going to be talking about Women's History Month. And it's about celebrating power, resilience, and the impact of women. Not just famous women that we learn about in class, right? But also the women that are not in those history books, the everyday women who shape our lives. Does anybody know why this month matters?
Um, this month matters because it represents the rights for women and all of the things that women have done throughout history. Um, the things that they've helped with, the things that they're fixed and put together as a whole, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said. Mubarak, you had your hand up.
Uh, I think it's important because back then women did not get the right to vote and stuff, and men only have rights.
Anyone else?
I think that this month is important because it helps us understand like women's struggles and how and what women had to go through back then, and it helps us understand that every right should be equal.
Mm. Yeah, I think this month is important. Going off of what Imani said, to highlight how far I guess women have come in this country, but also worldwide. But also to highlight, the great things that they continue to do for the country and for us on the day to day. Right, we all have amazing women in our lives, and I think we do need to give them their time to be appreciated and celebrated.
So, yes, right? Everything that everyone shared is correct. This month exists because women have always shaped history. The thing is that their stories were not always being told, right? And this month makes sure that those stories are finally seen, heard, and celebrated. So today we honor, or this month we honor the women who came before us. We recognize the women that shape who we are, and we celebrate just women. So, who are the women whose shoulders you all stand on? Who are the women that support you in your day to day?
Um,
The teachers,
the
my
teachers,
mom.
my mom, my grandparents, and others.
My mother,
Hmm.
my teachers, my sisters, and my grandpas and grandmas. My mother, my sister, and my teachers. Uh, my mom, my sisters, and my family. I mean, my friends and my family. My mom, my sister, and my teachers.
For me, I would say my mom, my sister, and at work it would be Miss Rodriguez, Miss Centeno, and Dr. V.
So, I love how we all start this, where the majority of us start with my mom,
Mm.
right? Because for me, it would be the same. I always saw my mom um, doing all the sacrificing, right? Taking multiple trains, multiple buses to drop one sister off in Harlem. We lived in the Bronx, so she'll be going from the Bronx to Harlem, then going back to her job in Queens. And after work, she'll be going from Queens to my grandparents' house in Washington Heights, then taking the bus back to the Bronx. And this is all in a day, right? And I never heard her complain about being tired. She would still come home, stop by the supermarket, cook. On the days that we had to do laundry, she would be the one downstairs doing laundry. And presently, for me, it would be again my mom, um, definitely my two sisters, my mother-in-law, and definitely at work a lot of the females that I work with closely. So that's Dr. V, Miss Jenkins, Miss H, Miss Simmons, Miss Centeno, Miss Pat, right? All of these women shape who I am inside and outside of work.
Mhm.
Now, what about other women in history that we've learned about?
Um, like Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, and others. Quiet, Coleman.
Hmm?
Quiet, Coleman.
Okay.
I for, I forgot her name, but we was we was learning about her in LA class. We was reading a story. It was about how like she was the first black woman to fly a plane, but I forgot her name.
Bessie Coleman.
Yeah, Bessie Coleman.
Frida Kahlo,
Rita.
right? Ruth Bader. I have a sticker right here, and it says, "Women belong in all places where decisions are being made." And it's true, right? If a decision is being made, it should not exclude, or we should not exclude women from helping shape those decisions, helping shape those laws or those rules.
I think that's very true. I feel like women give another perspective of the world that men couldn't either.
And a lot of the times, right? There's this, isn't there the saying, behind every man there's a strong.
A strong, powerful woman to help support him or something along those
Mhm.
lines. But that a lot of that is true. A lot of powerful men who are in positions of power always have powerful women either surrounding them or live with them,
Mhm.
right? We can take, we could take our school culture for an example, right? Like think about our administration team, right? We have Dr. Resto, and he has a bunch of amazing women that are his assistant principals that help keep the school running, so he can worry about, having his meetings and all the things that he needs to do and pushing the mission and vision of the school.
Also the shared collaboration, right? Together they make a great impact, right? But it takes multiple voices, right? Because they add to the perspective, they add and support the mission and vision of our school, right? When you think about our first black president, right? Barack Obama, he had Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
and Michelle was his mentor when he was at a law firm. When he was getting started, Michelle was already established, right? So he had a strong woman standing beside him, because the women should not be standing behind, right? They should be partners in the work that they do. So women have changed and inspired history through their courage, through their positivity, through their resilience. Um,
A lot of art is inspired by women too.
mhm. So let's talk about these women that you all mentioned, right? You mentioned mothers, sisters, grandmas, aunts. Um, Tell me about the women who have believed in you when you've doubted yourself. Tell me about the women who've taught you resilience. Tell me about the women who've modeled strength. Tell me about the women who lift you up. I want to hear those stories.
The woman I can say that lift me up, it will be the woman I can say that lift me up would be Miss Rodriguez, because every time that I have a problem, or if I doubted myself, or if I feel like I'm not perfect, Miss Rodriguez will always be there to help me know that I'm perfect, that I should always be myself and to love myself.
Girl,
Some women
that'll make
that
me cry.
some women that lift me up every day. For example, my grandma, even though like I moved, so it's like we don't communicate as much, but we still communicate. So it's like when I call her, she checks on me. She's like, "Oh, how you doing in school?" And I'll tell her if I have a problem, and she'll just tell me to leave it alone, exit the problem. Or if she knows that I'm not in the wrong, then she'll just tell me to talk to somebody about it and to try my best to keep going and don't stop. Or my mom, for example, like I could doubt myself, and she'll say the most beautiful thing to me, and I would still doubt myself. It's like I'm doubting myself when she's saying this to me, and it could be true, but I don't want to believe it. Or inside of school, we got teachers that they never seen this side of me. When I get mad, they never seen that side of me. And it's like when they have seen that side, they started questioning me. And it's like Miss Rodriguez. Whenever I need help with something, she's always there to back me up. So, yeah.
Um, I would say for me, that woman would be definitely my mom. My mom had, I mean, and many of you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm adopted. So my mom chose me to have her as her son. And I think that's the most beautiful thing because she chose to have me. Um, and she's the reason why I believe I could do anything I put my mind to. Even now, my mom has cancer. She's sick, going through chemo. She's weak, but every day she gets up and takes care of my little brother, my two little brothers, and my little sister. She still checks up on me, even though I'm a grown man.
Runs that
Runs
household.
that household with an iron fist.
She runs a strict program.
Runs a very strict program. And yeah, so she believes in me still to this day. She still tells me to try to become a doctor or a lawyer or something because she thinks I can still do it. I'm like, yo, mom, I'm in my career already. But yeah, definitely my mom.
I would say my mom because when sometimes when I'm upset, my mom always makes tries to make me happy, like tries to like say funny things. And my mom like she always checks up on my family, and also my mom is sick, and she runs the family, she makes food for everyone, and my mom is like the kindest person you will ever meet.
That's so
That's so
beautiful.
sweet.
Um, I want to add to a lot of what was already said, right? Like when you're upset and your mom will tell you something, right, and it changes the mood. Sometimes I would wonder, right, like how is it that this woman always knows the right things to say, like on the spot? And it's just like I could be having a really bad day and my mom's words would just lift me up. And it's just like, how do you have this power, right? Or what about whenever you've been sick and your mom just like rubs your head or she rubs your back or something, and all of a sudden you feel better? And I'm like, what is this magic, right? But it also makes me feel like women are magic. So, what about women who've modeled strength? And I know, Mr. Sanchez, you shared a little bit about that with your mom, and we are all hoping for a speedy recovery.
Thank you.
But anyone else? The boys? Our boys are a little shy today.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
So I wanted to add on to what Mr. Sanchez and Melanie said about their mom. It was a long time ago where my mom got really sick. She had something going on with her stomach, and she got really sick, and she wasn't she was in the hospital for like a few weeks, and like I will go visit her. I will see if she's okay, and like it was different without her in the house.
Um,
So
I
yeah,
want
you
to
could
add on
feel that. You could feel the absence of your mom being gone,
to.
and that goes to show how powerful it was having her in the home.
The impact.
Yeah.
I want to add on, but it's mostly about my grandma and my mom because like they're my two top people. We're two I go to.
Your pillars.
Yeah, like so I could say my grandma every time because my grandma she is sick. It's like I'll say every 2 months she's in and out of the hospital. But it's like whenever she's home, like she's home, she well whenever because I'm not down there with her no more. But whenever I used to stay down there and I would stay the night at her house over the weekends, it's like whenever she was there and even when she wasn't feeling bad, she would still have the strength or she would have the strength to get up and do stuff for me when I could clearly do it myself. Because I was 10 years old, I could do it myself. Stuff that I could do myself, she would do it for me. And I would tell her that she didn't have to do it, but she didn't listen. And it's like with my mom, It's like I complain every day about the littlest stuff that I don't have to complain about, and my mom doesn't complain at all.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
That
She
they
doesn't
do
complain
so
at
much
all.
and
No, it's literally.
Y'all just gonna make me cry. I don't want to talk about this no more.
It's gonna make me cry.
Right?
so.
Just how much our moms mean to us. That's it.
Mhm. Now think about what if anything, right? What is one lesson that you've learned from one of these inspirational women that you would like to push forward?
One inspirational lesson that I learned from these women, uh, I would say to never let anyone talk you down. Uh, know your worth,
Mm.
and even when you feel disrespected or when somebody doesn't like you, you keep pushing for it because it's not about what others think; it's about what you know.
I would say that what I learned from like Miss Rodriguez and my mom is that to always love yourself and that whatever body shape you are, that you are still beautiful.
Um, I think the main thing that I learned from my mom was you could really do anything you put your mind to, and I feel like that's a very powerful message if you really believe it,
Mhm.
because you literally believe you could do anything that you set your mind out to, and I think that's very powerful because people's mindsets are the reason why. Um, Sometimes what hinders them from doing what they really want to do.
Anyone else? What are some ways we can uplift women? Because as much as women are now being recognized, right, there's still a lot of inequality when it comes to women, right? So, what are some things that we can do? Because when you look around, or when I look around, I see our future, right? You guys are our future. So, how can we continue to uplift women?
Um, I could use Kamala as an example. People didn't vote for her because she was a woman, but I don't think that that should matter because you see what we're in now because of Trump. So I feel like we should have gave her a chance. I voted for her. I voted for her, but clearly that's not what America thinks. So I feel
Hmm.
like there's a large proportion of America that thinks that men mostly should have. I don't know how to word it, but I feel like that's a good example because they didn't vote for her because she was a woman.
You were saying that you think that the majority of the country believes that a male ruler would be better.
Yes, when I think
Okay.
I don't think that at all because that shouldn't affect anything.
Gender shouldn't affect
Like
someone's ability to lead
exactly,
Or to make
or
decisions,
to make
right?
exactly
decisions.
because one person could be smarter than the other.
Yeah.
I agree with the Asia, and I want to add on to her because, like, I feel like in the world, not everybody is seeing women for what they truly are or who they truly are, and like they think that women should learn that they need to stay at home when they don't need to do anything. That men is have more power than women, but I feel like that women could do anything that men could do, and that women are independent and that they could do whatever they believe in doing.
So, Women's History Month reminds us that the story of progress is written by women who refuse to stay silent, refuse to give up, and refuse to accept limits placed on them. So, this month, celebrate the women who came before us, support the women beside us, and encourage the women who will come after us. So, as we go around, send a message to a woman in your family, a woman in your life. So, I would say, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Jossie. Thank you, Juby. Thank you, Karch.
Thank you, Mom, for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself.
I want to say thank you and love you.
I want to say thank you to our mom, stuff like that. I want to say thank you to like all the girls that helped me in life and made me who I am.
I want to say thank you to my mother because she was there with for me every time when I was down. I want to say thank you to my mom. She's the best person ever.
I want to say thank you to all the women that's been with me through all my ups and downs and all my mood changes and stuff.
And a special thank you to all the women at P4. This is the Mindfulness Mix Club signing out. Bye.